Jason Todd is the rash, impulsive, and reckless Robin, and this is one of his earliest adventures with Batman. Revenge. I finally get revenge. I finally get to fight back and hurt someone else. My whole life, I've been the one getting hurt, but I'm done hiding. I'm done being scared. Now, I'll make them scared, and they'll be the ones hiding. Nothing can stop me now. No one can hold me back. I am a weapon, Jason thinks to himself. Robin revs the engine on his motorcycle and screeches past the Batmobile, chasing after the red van as the goons lean out the window and open fire a burst from their machine guns. "Careful, Robin! Stay behind me!" Batman warns over the comms, but Robin pushes his motorcycle faster. "No way! I've totally got these morons!" Robin snaps, but a bullet takes out his tire, sending the bike skidding to the ground. Robin easily flips to safety, grabbing hold of one of his R-stars and sending it spinning through the air. "I'm fine!" Robin reports to Batman as the van's tire pops and screeches to a halt. The goons flood out of the back as Batman rushes forward to engage them, but Robin pushes past the fight. "You take these guys, boss! I'm going after the Cuckoo!" Robin shouts as he sees the gang leader getting away. Batman turns to shout for him to stop, but one of the goons cracks him in the back of the head. Batman whirls and drives an elbow into the man's nose. "Well, I do seem to be a bit preoccupied at the moment, Robin. Please proceed with caution." Batman growls as he dips under another attack and hits the man with an uppercut. Meanwhile, Cuckoo rushes down the alleyway, aware that Robin is following him. He ducks behind a corner and draws his pistol, waiting for the young boy to round the corner. "How stupid do you think I am?" Robin snaps as he leaps down from the rooftop. "Don't you think Gotham has enough bird-themed bad guys, dude?" Robin asks as he kicks the gun away. But Cuckoo is ready for him, drawing his bird claws from beneath his coat. "Look who's talking, baby bird!" Cuckoo snaps as he lashes out, slashing Robin across the cheek. Robin staggers back in surprise, and Cuckoo kicks him in the gut, knocking him to the ground. Seeing his chance, the criminal grabs the bag of cash and rushes off into the night. Robin curses in frustration as he struggles to his feet, but Batman steps from the shadows. "Robin, are you all right?" he asks as he reaches down for his sidekick. But Robin pushes him away. "I'm fine, just scratches. We can still catch up to him," Robin shouts. But Batman shakes his head and holds the young hero back. "No, we're done for today, son," Batman says, explaining that they need to pause and reevaluate the situation. "Cuckoo's too brash to stay hidden for long," Batman promises. Robin stares at him for a moment, wanting to argue, but he finally turns away and returns to the street. "It's my fault he got away. I screwed up," Robin fumes to himself, but one of the goons looks up from his place tied to the street lamp. "You sure did, kid," the goon sneers. Robin stares at him for a moment, before lashing out and kicking him in the face, breaking his nose. "Say it again! Come on! Say it!" Robin snarls, but Batman is there, pulling his young sidekick off the goon. "That's enough! Control yourself!" Batman snaps before pushing Robin towards the Batmobile. "Get in the Batmobile, now!" he growls. Robin glares at him for a moment, before stomping off to the Batmobile, sulking as he gets inside. "Someone has authority issues, huh, Bats?" the goon says as blood leaks down from his broken nose. Batman glares at him for a moment, before punching him across the jaw. "Shut up," he growls. Later, Alfred is whistling as he dusts the Batcomputer. He turns at the sound of the approaching Batmobile. The car comes to a stop, and Alfred watches as both Bruce and Jason get out, still in the middle of their argument. "I know, I messed up. I'll do better," Jason says as he pulls off his mask. But Bruce shakes his head. "It's not about being perfect. You're still learning," Bruce tries to explain. But Jason shakes his head, looking back at his mentor and pointing out that every time he screws up, someone could get hurt. "So I don't need you giving me some stupid pep talk," Jason snaps as he heads for the stairs back up to the manor. But Alfred finally steps in. "That is quite enough of that tone, young man. As long as you're under this roof, you will speak to Master Bruce with the same respect that he affords you," Alfred states sternly as he takes his place by Bruce's side. But Jason is having none of it. He turns back around, glaring at them both. "What is this to you two exactly? I am not your son, and I am definitely not your grandson. I'm here to be a fighter. I'm here to make a difference out there, not for some after-school special crap. So unless you want to talk tactics, save it." Jason snaps at them both before turning and storming upstairs. Bruce and Alfred watch the stairs for a moment. "Let him go, Master Bruce. The boy clearly needs some time to cool off," Alfred finally says. But Bruce sighs and bows his head. "What he needs, Alfred, is hell. I don't know what he needs," he finally admits. He looks to his old friend, admitting that taking on Jason might have been a mistake. Alfred doesn't say anything. "This is where you're supposed to say something reassuring, Alfred. Something about the boy needing me and I can turn him around," Bruce says. But Alfred shakes his head grimly. "I promised you a long time ago that I would only tell you the truth, Master Bruce. That boy, there is just something not right," Alfred says softly. He points out that Dick Grayson was exceptional, but Jason is deeply troubled. That when Bruce took up his crusade, he wanted to bring Gotham back into the light. But Jason, he merely wants revenge. "I fear that even you might not be able to save this one, Master Bruce," Alfred tells him before turning away. Later, Jason reaches up and pulls the string on a light overhead, illuminating his old apartment. But no one is there. "Hello?" he calls out. Suddenly, there is a snap and static as the TV on the kitchen counter turns on. Jason walks over to it and is shocked to see his father captured by Two-Face. Jason watches in horror as Two-Face flips his coin. "Dad?" Jason whispers. The coin comes up the defaced side. "Ah, well, I guess it's death for you, Willy boy," Two-Face proclaims as he draws his pistol. Jason watches in horror as his father looks right at him through the TV screen. "Run, Jason, run!" Willis Todd shouts. Jason turns and runs away as the gunshot echoes over the TV speakers. Jason begins running down a long hallway. The walls are twisting and red. He stops at an open door and looks in his bathroom. "Mom, are you home?" Jason calls out, but he sees his mother laying on the floor, a needle nearby. "Mom! Mom! Wake up!" Jason says as he reaches out for her, trying to shake her awake. But the woman shifts and stands, revealing that she is really the criminal known as the Red Hood. "Jason," the Red Hood calls, drawing a pistol and aiming it at him. Suddenly, Jason is dressed as Robin once more. He turns and runs away, running back down the twisting red hallway. Someone is still calling his name. "Jason!" "No!" Jason yells, cowering in fear. Jason opens his eyes and lashes out. But Bruce, who is sitting on the edge of the bed, easily catches the punch. "Whoa, easy. It's all right. You were just dreaming," Bruce tells him. Jason struggles out of the bed, pushing the thoughts of the dream away as he asks Bruce what he wants. Bruce smiles at him. Well, one of my informants reached out. The cuckoo just popped up again at the belly of the whale. Thought you might want another crack at him, Bruce explains. Later that night, Batman and Robin sit upon the rooftops, overlooking the dockside bar. You follow my lead. I take point, you support when you can, and keep an eye on our surroundings. Got it? Batman growls to his partner. I got it, promise, he says softly. Suddenly, the door opens and the cuckoo comes stumbling out. Batman frowns as the criminal staggers to the bar corner and rounds it. He's inebriated, Batman sighs. Dude's hammered, Jason points out. He turns to Batman with a smile. Can I take him, please? He's obviously alone and in no shape to fight back, Robin points out. Batman ponders it for a moment before nodding, telling Robin to be careful as drunk criminals can be unpredictable, and go easy on him. Batman orders as Robin leaps down. Robin follows Cuckoo around the corner, moving forward quietly in the shadowy alleyways of the dockside. Finally, he finds the criminal hunched over in a corner. Robin steps around the corner, finally ready to get his revenge. But Robin is shocked when Cuckoo turns and he sees a needle in the man's hand. Robin takes a step back, shocked to see the same kind of needle that his mother had in his dream. Damn brat! Cuckoo snaps as he pops his bird claws and rushes forward. He takes a swipe at Robin. Why can't you just leave me alone? Cuckoo growls as he punches Robin in the face and turns to run. Robin, report! Do you need backup? Batman shouts over the comms. But now, Jason is really mad. He reaches into his ear and pulls the comm piece out, dropping it to the ground, and he rushes after the criminal, finally finding Cuckoo at a dead end. Okay, I'm sorry, I give up, Cuckoo calls, but Robin has had enough. He stalks forward, his hands balled into fists. I'll never be scared again. I'll never get hurt again. I am a weapon, he thinks to himself. Finally, Batman has arrived. He rounds the corner and stops. Robin! No, Batman says softly, his eyes widened in shock as he sees Robin kneeling over Cuckoo, blood covering his hands and beginning to pool beneath the criminal. Batman, Jason begins to say, but Batman steps forward and grabs Robin by the shoulders. Son, what did you do? He demands, but Robin pushes him off. It wasn't me, Robin shouts as he points over Batman's shoulder. Both heroes look up at the ghostly figure that stands on the rooftops above them, a rifle in his hands. Gotham's time is running out, Batman. You've been too lenient, too weak. The animals are running wild, and the Wraith is here to put them down. Robin stands over the fallen body of the Cuckoo, a low-tier criminal in the Gotham underworld. Blood begins to pool around the Cuckoo's loud suit. Batman and Robin suddenly look up to see a white-cloaked figure standing on the rooftop above them, a smoking rifle in his hand. I've really been looking forward to meeting you, the man calls. Batman pulls out his grappling line and fires it into the air. Stay here, Batman orders Robin as he leaps up to meet this new threat. The man takes a step back, his hands hidden by the swirl of his cloak in the breeze of warm Gotham air. Look, it doesn't have to go this way. We want the same things, the man says. The Batman shakes his head. You're a killer, he growls. And you're an enabler. You let them live and just fight them again and again. And in between, they keep killing and hurting innocent people. We're soldiers. This is a war, the man says. It's my war, Stand down, Batman orders. The stranger moves fast, lashing out with a kick that Batman barely avoids. You don't own Gotham. You don't make the rules here, the stranger snaps. Actually, I do, Batman says as he throws a punch that the stranger quickly avoids and responds with a knee to the stomach. I used to look up to you, you know, just like that poor kid does, the stranger says as he punches Batman across the jaw, knocking him to the ground. The stranger turns away and begins to flee. Stay out of my way and I'll stay out of yours, he calls over his shoulder. Batman tosses a batarang, but the stranger whirls and easily blocks the attack with his gauntlet. I thought you'd be faster, but you've gotten slow. Weak, the stranger says as he tosses a red grenade on the rooftop as he leaps off. Batman moves to follow, but the sound grenade detonates, deafening and disorienting him. Once he recovers, Batman discovers that the man has disappeared. Who is he? Robin calls from behind him. Batman turns to find his sidekick standing quietly. I don't know yet, but I will, Batman growls. They return to the street and examine the body, but Jason is agitated. I saw your face. When you found me with the cuckoo, you thought I did it. You actually thought I killed him, Jason finally says. Batman stands and shakes his head. No, Robin. I think you're tired. I think you're upset about what's happening, and I think we need to regroup, Batman finally says. Robin stares at him for a moment before turning away. Whatever, he snaps over his shoulder. Later, Bruce is sitting at the Bat computer. He doesn't look as he hears Alfred coming up behind him. I think you were right, Alfred, Bruce suddenly says. Alfred stops for a moment, letting the words sink in. I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I thought I just heard you say, Alfred begins to say. Bruce turns to look at his old friend. I'm serious. About Jason. I think you were right. I think it may have been a mistake to train him. To think there could be another Robin, Bruce says softly, explaining that Jason is different than Dick was. Different than even Bruce was at that age. Both of them had good parents, but Jason never did. He's just broken, Alfred finishes for him. Bruce ponders this for a moment, before shaking his head and standing. No, I refuse to accept that. I'm not giving up on him. We can fix him, Bruce says as he heads into the shadows of the cave. Meanwhile, in the manor, Jason is staring out the window, remembering what happened. Cuckoo had drawn his gun and shot next to Jason. He then aimed it at his head, but the stranger had stepped from the shadows. Drop the gun. Leave him alone, the stranger said. Cuckoo had turned his weapon towards the new vigilante. A gunshot echoed through the alley, and Jason watched as Cuckoo fell. Blood splattered on his face. He looked up at the stranger. It's okay. He's nothing. Worthless, the stranger said softly. He eyed the young Robin up and down. So you're the new one, huh? Been keeping an eye on you, kid, the stranger told him, explaining that the Bat was holding him back, that he needed to stop apologizing for what he really was. The stranger holds out a piece of paper for Robin. And what am I? Robin asked as he took the note. The stranger stared at him for a moment. A weapon, he had said. Now, Jason takes the piece of paper from his pocket and stares at it. He unfolds it to find an address. 29 Dover Hill Street. That night, Jason heads down into the cave, but he doesn't find Batman. What are you doing here? He asks Nightwing. Dick smiles as he leans against the Batmobile. He thought it might be a good idea for us to spend some time together, Dick says, explaining that Batman had some JLA stuff and wanted Dick to take Jason on patrol. Well, you can go back to Titan's Tower, Dick. I got this, Jason says. You know we don't get to patrol alone, not in the first year. Dick explains as he heads for the motorcycles. What? He really never let you solo either? Jason asks as he suits up and joins the older hero. Dick shakes his head and revs the engine on the bike. Of course not. Come on, this is gonna be fun, he says with a smile before they speed off into the night. The two heroes move through the night, protecting the people of Gotham from its seedy underbelly, taking out gang members, costumed henchmen, and swinging through the cityscape. Eventually, they take a moment of rest on the edge of a building. So, I think the Titans might be taking on some new part-time members soon, Nightwing tells Robin as he glances at him. Jason cocks an eyebrow. You really think that I would want to be a Titan? He asks in shock. He looks back over the city. I'm not you, Dick. I'm not a team guy, Jason tells him. But Dick disagrees, pointing out that people change and that Jason shouldn't limit himself in his crime-fighting career. I know how it is when you're with him. It becomes all-consuming. You're not going to be a kid forever. You should enjoy it while you can, Dick tells him. But Jason shakes his head. You and your fun. This isn't supposed to be fun, Dick. It's a war. Did you ever take this seriously? Jason asks. He stands up, pointing out that while Dick is having fun, people are dying in the streets. Suffering as you sit up here trying to pull your big brother act. You're not my brother, Nightwing, Jason says. I know that, Nightwing tells him softly. But Jason shakes his head and pulls out his grappling gun. Team-up night is over. See you around, Nightwing, he says as he swings off into the night. Later, Nightwing stands before Batman in the Batcave. How did it go? Batman asks. Nightwing sighs and shakes his head. Honestly, Bruce, not good, Dick tells him, explaining that Jason has a lot of anger and might need some time to figure things out for himself. Dick, tell me honestly, should I stop? Should I shut Jason down? Bruce asks. I can't tell you that, and you can't decide for him either. Not now. It's too late for that, Dick explains. Now you have to let him decide who he's gonna be. Meanwhile, in the city, Jason has arrived at the address that the stranger gave him. He slips inside and moves down to the basement, where he finds the stranger training against a punching bag. The man stops and reaches for his mask, quickly tying it around his face. I was hoping you'd come, he says as he turns around. Who are you? Jason asks. You can call me Wraith. Whoever we were, they're gone, Wraith tells him. He reaches for his weapons, holstering his pistols. It's about what we want to be. Who do you want to be? A mascot or a soldier? Gotham is getting worse. He's not enough anymore. We need to match them. They're animals. They'll burn this city down if we let them. So the question is, are you with me or with him? Wraith asks. Jason ponders this for a moment, but he makes his choice. And later, the two of them prowl throughout the city, together. Jason Todd was 11 years old when he found his mom dead. He was supposed to be at school, but he hadn't gone in a while. Instead, using that time to go out and steal to provide for him and his mother. Now, he comes into the apartment and puts his backpack on the floor. He calls out, but no one greets him. Instead, he finds his mother's cold body on the floor, a needle nearby. Tears fall from his eyes. But someone calls out to him. Jason. The voice echoes from the bathtub drain. Jason leans forward cautiously, looking down into the dark hole. Suddenly, the darkness rises up and bats flutter into the bathroom, screeching and flapping their wings. Jason recoils and screams in fear. Now, two mobsters sit at a restaurant table and count their money after hours. But suddenly, there is a noise outside. What was that? One of them asks around his cigarette. Probably just the damn raccoons again, Jackie mutters as he draws his pistol and heads for the door. He looks around for a moment before turning back to the door, but his eyes widen in shock as he sees Wraith standing over his downed partner. Jackie McNeil, Wraith growls. Jackie raises his pistol, but something moves behind him. Your time is up, Robin hisses. He grabs the man from behind and twists his arm, bringing him down and kneeing him in the face. Blood splatters as his nose breaks. Who's your supplier? Jason snaps. Jackie looks up at him, blood leaking from his nose and mouth. What the hell are you talking about, kid? Jackie gasps. Wraith steps forward and holds up a syringe of a red liquid. I'll ask once. This new compound. Where are you getting it from, Jackie? He growls. Screw you, man! Jackie spits. Wraith nods and raises his weapon, firing a round into the gangster's kneecap. Jackie screams in pain and rolls along the floor. Wraith aims the pistol at the gangster's head. Where did you get the drugs? Tell us! Wraith bellows in anger. Jackie finally relents, explaining that he gets the drug from a guy named Jansen in the Narrows. He calls it Reaper Red, Jackie cries. Wraith nods and places the pistol against the gangster's temple, but Jason pushes the pistol down. This guy means nothing. We got what we came for, Jason hisses. Wraith stares at him for a moment. Finally, he turns away. Sooner or later, you're going to be in a situation where it's going to be your life or theirs. When that time comes, will you have what it takes to do what needs to be done? Wraith asks, before stalking out of the room. Later, in the Batcave, Bruce studies the footage from the restaurant and explains to Alfred that he just missed the duo. Master Bruce, I fear this is my fault, Alfred says softly, explaining that he didn't welcome Jason here or treat him the same as he did with Dick. The boy scared me, I suppose. There was something wild about him. I had a hard time connecting with him, and then at some point, I think I just stopped trying, Alfred admits. But Bruce shakes his head and tells Alfred that it's not his fault. He taps a button on the monitor, bringing up a photo of Wraith's true identity. Kevin Gilroy, orphan, in and out of juvenile detention as a kid, then a short stint at Gotham Penn for aggravated assault when he was 19. Then totally off the grid for the last 7 years, Batman explains. Alfred stares at the photo in shock. Those eyes, the hurt. Alfred says softly, I know, they remind me of Jason, he replies, explaining that he's tracking Jason by tracking the Reaper Red drug. They're closing in on the source. I need to find it before they do, he says as he turns back to the Batmobile and pulls his cowl back on. And then what, Master Bruce? Beg him to come home? Alfred asks. Batman shakes his head. The choice will be Jason's. It always has been. Meanwhile, in the city, Jason leans over a rooftop and stares down on the darkness, thoughts running through his mind about something he never told Batman. That even after he became Robin, he was scared of him, scared of Batman, but he doesn't know why. Why he would still be scared of him. Wraith suddenly appears at his shoulder. You ready? He asks before leaping off into the night. But Robin pauses. He stares up into the night sky and sees the bat signal shining overhead. Robin stares at it for a moment before shaking his head and leaping after his new partner. On the rooftop of the GCPD, Batman turns to Jim Gordon, thanking him for turning the signal on. Think he saw it? Gordon asks. Kids can be tough, trust me. Batman nods his head slightly. I hope so, he whispers. Suddenly, his radio crackles and Oracle comes on the line, explaining that she found that Hollis Jansen, a rich kid from Keystone City, is the designer of Reaper Red and is backed by Intergang. They're using Gotham as a test run for the drug. Barbara explains before giving Batman Jansen's address. Batman thanks her and leaps off into the night. Go get our boy back. I worry about this one, Barbara tells him. Meanwhile, Wraith slips into the drug den that they've tracked Jansen to. He moves through the shadows, stepping past the addicts that lay about the floor. But Robin pauses for a moment, staring at a woman that reminds him of his mom. Is it time? She asks gently. Robin leans forward. For what? He asks her. She stares at him pleadingly. For more, she gasps. Robin turns away from her, storming past Wraith and heading deeper into the building. Careful, Wraith tells him. But the anger has gotten to Robin. No more being careful, he says as he tosses an explosive device at a nearby door, blowing the wood off the frame and stepping into the drug lab. Wraith follows him in, readying his pistol as the drug dealer's security moves to stop them. Here we go, Wraith hisses as he raises his pistol and starts firing. The rounds rip through the inner gang guards quickly. Robin moves fast, disarming 2 of the guards by breaking some bones. Robin thinks to himself, he's not scared around Wraith. He feels free finally to be who he is. But Jansen moves up behind him, placing a knife to his throat. Drop the guns, he shouts to Wraith. But Robin doesn't hesitate, his anger at seeing the woman fueling his strength. He grabs Jansen and tosses him to the ground before picking him up and placing the knife to his throat. It's over, Jansen, Robin hisses. And Robin thinks to himself, all it takes is a flick of the wrist. There's no fixing him. This is who he is. He pulls the knife tight against the criminal's throat. A drop of blood begins to well up. But the shadows shift behind him, and suddenly, Batman is at his shoulder, and fear begins to seep into Robin once more. Robin, it's okay, son. You don't have to do this, Batman says softly. Robin stares in shock at his mentor. You don't understand. He's killing them, Robin gasps. Batman nods. I know, son, but this isn't the way. This isn't our way, Batman reminds him. Wraith steps forward, standing at Jason's other shoulder. Your way has left Gotham to rot. But you want that. You want to let them live. Without them, what would you be? Wraith growls. Robin nods at the vigilante's words. He's right. We just lock them up and more appear. We need to show them. Jason snaps. Batman looks at him. Show them what? That they can't hurt me anymore, Robin says as he clenches his eyes closed. But Batman shakes his head. There's always going to be pain. There's always hurt. But if we don't give them a second chance, we're no better than they are, Batman tells him. But Wraith steps forward, moving quickly and aiming his pistol at Batman's head. Do it! Kill him! He orders Jason. It's over. He's made his choice. Wraith hisses at Batman as his finger tightens on the trigger. But Robin moves fast, twisting his arm and throwing the knife. It stabs through Wraith's hand, pinning him to the wall and forcing him to drop the pistol. Yes, he has. And you made yours, Batman growls as he knocks Wraith out with one punch. Batman turns back to Jason, who stands before him. He looks up at him and wonders why he still scares him. But he realizes that it's because he sees Jason, not just what he is now, but what he could still be. I saw the signal, Jason whispers. Batman nods and kneels before his sidekick. I was calling you home, he says as he pulls the boy into a hug. Later, Robin stands before Gilroy's cell in Arkham Asylum. Let me guess, Reaper Red is already back on the streets? Gilroy sneers. But Jason shakes his head, explaining that they used Jansen to track down his inner gang backers and shut down the whole operation. Gilroy shrugs his shoulders. It's only a matter of time until it starts all over again, he sighs, explaining that they should have killed Jansen to set an example and breed fear on the streets. There are other ways to breed fear, smarter ways, Jason tells him. Gilroy laughs and turns away from the young hero, commenting that Batman has him believing that he isn't broken. I'm not broken, Jason hisses, before turning away and stalking out of the asylum. As he leaves, he passes a cell, and the Joker leans out, smiling at his future victim. But Jason doesn't know this and heads out into the night, riding his motorcycle back into the city, thinking about his fear. Bruce may see him. He may want to save him, but he's not like Bruce, and he never will be. He can tell himself that he's not scared anymore, but maybe that'll never go away. Maybe he just needs to accept that and let the darkness in and hope that he doesn't get lost. And that was Robin and Batman Jason Todd, issues 1, 2, and 3 by Jeff Lemire. This was a fun, short little mini-series, but I enjoyed it a lot. But let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel to help us out. I'm Dan with Comicstorian, and we will see you next time. Rest in peace, Benny.